This week on Football's Play to Win, we'll dig into how the Falcons hope to overcome this injury bug, ask how good Georgia really is, and we'll pick some big SEC and NFL showdowns. It's time for the fastest 30 minutes on television, Football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by Georgia Lottery and McDonald's. Welcome to Football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, player medical and injury reports with Dr. Sadiq El Amin, Falcons All-Pro running back Jamal Anderson, and your host, Nikki Williams. Today's Hometown Team Report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
Good morning and welcome to Football's Play to Win with my people over here. Bob Whitfield, Jamal Anderson, Chuck Smith. Yeah, y'all don't hang out with me outside of the show, but I feel like today we're kind of family.
Got nothing but love for you, Nikki.
Well, you need to show it during the rest of the days is all I'm saying. Listen, we've had a lot of fun since Miami came out with that turnover chain with all this flair. You know, the theatrics of you've done something big, so the team brings out something borderline obnoxious. So we've got the turnover chain at Miami.
I like that.
Well, okay, so we all liked it, right? It went viral. It was a thing in high school,
They got a new one now. They got a new one.
Yes, they
well,
got a new
it moved
one.
on from that. It evolved from that into then the spikes over at UGA.
I love it.
I love that.
I like the guy too. That's Davin Bellamy. I like it. Houston,
I
Texas.
know you love Bellamy, and I
Love me
do
some
love
Bellamy.
those spikes. And then it just maybe went a little too far with that trash can at Tennessee.
Only at Tennessee where they use a trash can as motivation.
Don't hate.
I know what they could throw
We
in
don't
that
even use
trash
that
can.
anymore.
No, but it's
Garbage.
not. You know why? Because it didn't work. And you know what? I think that Florida State's finally put a nail in the coffin on this with that backpack. I mean, what in the world is in that bag?
Probably not.
It's
a
supposed to
turnover.
be secure the bag, so they got a backpack.
Secure the bag.
That's literally what they say, secure the bag. But the trash can for Tennessee, it's perfectly accurate depiction of the program.
You wrong for that. I'm gonna let that ride
Chuck,
right
what
now.
do you have
I'm
over
gonna let
there?
that right now.
Does that go in the trash
you know what
can?
this is? This is the Can't Get Right belt. And every
Who's
week,
won it?
whoever can't get it right, we're gonna present it to him. So today, Jam, why are we presenting him with this belt?
Can't get right.
He said last week Georgia State was gonna beat who? North Carolina State.
This
Come
more
on,
like
Bob,
a
stop it.
headband.
For
You need to stop
Bob.
that.
Can't
big
get
old
right
head.
headband.
Georgia State, NC State.
What you have is, I am a Georgia, favorite Georgia. We going for Georgia. It gets big
Listen.
teams, small teams. Let's just go for the Georgia home team to win.
Speaking of teams that can't get it right now, poor Falcons. I mean, the Falcons, Eagles, so many players are out. What does that do to your locker room, I guess, just besides empty it out?
Well, I don't see it like that. I think what it does is motivate you. What it does is everybody's kind of counting you out already. And again, the Falcons had a chance. I mean, they had a chance to win this game. When you look at it, only thing that stopped them is the red zone. To me, what it does for the Falcons, it's motivation. It backs you up against the wall. When I'm backed up against the wall, I'm coming out swinging.
That's a different scary motivation, Chuck, when you're talking losing your key defenders. You're talking about the heart and soul of that defense. It was like when we lost Jamal Anderson after the Super Bowl year. What did the team do? Oh, we had a down season. And
Whoa.
I'm just saying,
All right, well, okay.
the impact of a key player, a star player,
But he didn't
it's
play
felt.
defense, though. We was giving up 300 a week, man.
You know, two things about it is you never want to lose players, the impact of those two guys, but you are listening to a person who took advantage of the opportunity of somebody else being injured. You don't know who's going to come from that roster. It's about the next man up. Somebody on the Falcons team, there's a couple of guys coming now. This is your chance. What are you going to do?
We've got a lot to talk about when it comes to the Falcons. And of course, SEC, ACC football. You know, the first couple of weeks of college football, we weren't surprised by much, but we were definitely disappointed. We'll dig into that when we come back on Football's Play to Win.
Fuel your football. Come to Mellow Mushroom for craft brews, fresh cocktails, and stone-baked pizzas. Or mellow at your own home gate. Tailgating? No matter who wins, it's always mellow for the win. Fuel your football with Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
It's Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month. the best time to take home big savings on our full lineup of tech-filled Titan trucks with V8 standard and best-in-class standard horsepower and torque, all backed by America's best truck warranty. Get to Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month and take home big savings. Save up to $10,687 on Titan, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models. Hurry, truck month ends soon.
Jack! Hey, Jack! Quick question for you.
No, mate, there's no actual beans in the beanstalk. It's just a name.
It's not that, it's that. Doesn't the giant normally say fee, fi, fo, fum?
Oh, right. I guess he decided to
Get rid of fees. Unlike cable providers, AT&T Fiber, the price you see is the price you pay. $40 a month for 300 megabits per second internet. No extra monthly fees. More for your thing. That's our thing. Call 1-877-ONLY-ATT.
We're expanding our vegetable menu. Looking for a lifestyle change or just trying to eat a little bit better? Well, This Is It is here to serve. Vegetables include fresh broccoli, squash, greens, cabbage, green beans, and so many more vegetables. Every Tuesday is now Healthy Tuesdays. Buy a 4-veggie plate and get a 3-veggie plate absolutely free. That's right, a free vegetable plate. Everybody, eat more veggies.
Today's SEC and ACC report is being brought to you by Nissan.
Welcome back to football's Play to Win. Last week, Clemson A&M, what a game. Now Clemson and Georgia Southern. What is Clemson looking to tweak in this game?
I think coverage, what you saw in Texas A&M, I thought Clemson got a little bit exposed when their pass rush didn't get there. I thought Texas A&M did a great job. Clemson, when they were rushing the passer well, it helped the secondary, but I think the secondary, there's some question marks there, I believe, in Clemson's secondary. So they're not perfect, and they almost got beat.
No question. And Clemson came into that game very, 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 very confident. We saw the cowboy hats, guys.
Yeah.
I'm watching this entire game, and I'm thinking, if y'all lose and you got off the plane in cowboy hats and imitating like you from Texas, it's going to be really, really bad. They got the job done. And I expect that they won't take any more teams lightly and be prepared this week and dominate.
Well, they facing an option team.
Right.
Shea Wertz is the quarterback, option quarterback. So they'll have their challenges, but this is the second option team they'll face, and they'll face another one in Georgia Tech. So Clemson knows about preparing themselves for the option. So look for them to have a tough matchup in defending it. Shea Wertz at quarterback, 6 TDs on the year.
Yeah, Georgia Southern is going to do what they do. But, running the ball.
But this ain't the 80s with Georgia Southern. They had the ham bone growing up with Tracy. You remember the ham bone?
Yes. And Adrian Peterson?
Oh, how about that?
And that kickoff moved up to noon, obviously, because of the hurricane. FSU, Syracuse. Now, a win over FSU isn't what it used to be for people, but Syracuse could be looking at a 3-0 start to the season. I mean, there's definitely something on the line for them.
But it's still a traditional powerhouse program, so this doesn't mean a lot. And for Syracuse to ever overlook a Florida State, come on now.
Yes.
So, but I think Florida State, they've been struggling somewhat. But for Syracuse, who upset Florida State last year, I really believe this is a huge game for both programs. But look, when you beat a Florida State, that's still something to hang your hat on. I believe
it's huge, and especially for a Syracuse team that's up and coming. When's the last time we were seriously discussing Syracuse?
Jim Brown.
I was literally,
Donovan McNabb.
Yes, I was literally waiting for you to tease me about Willie. Come on, buddy.
Well, that was last week.
Let's go, Taggart. Let's get it together now. You're making me nervous. If you lose to Syracuse, I'm about to call you personally next week.
Like Uncle Willie? Because you was all on Uncle Willie. Oh, let me just shut up.
Alabama, Ole Miss. Is this Tua's coming out party?
Well, it's more than Tua's coming out party. There's another name, a quarterback at Ole Miss, Jordan Ta'amu, who's also coming out. 7 TDs, I believe he has on the year. He's a baller, and what you have is an Ole Miss team that's really showing up, and they're taking advantage of the first 2-0 start right now of this season, and really are putting together a nice little offensive package. They're playing well, Ole Miss.
It would be huge. It would be a huge game from Ole Miss. And it's funny that you just mentioned Jordan, because you look at Tua. Ever since Marcus Mariota domination, you start seeing these dual threat quarterbacks with all this ability coming out of Hawaii that both of these teams have. Tua is not going to, he's going to be the starter. This is no conversation anymore. The kid is perfect on third downs, 10 for 10, 4 touchdowns. I see that continuing. But listen, I expect a battle.
Well, speaking of battles, we've got our college football showdown of the week.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery.
Auburn, LSU. We know always with this game, expect the unexpected, some of the best entertainment all football season.
Well, I like the fact that LSU, Auburn, they both had signature wins. Now, think about what both of them have done so far, but the bigger question is LSU ready? We already know about Auburn, Derek Brown. We already know about the defensive line. We already know about their pedigree. It's interesting to see how LSU stands up to Auburn, and if they win this game, there's going to be some noise in the SEC West.
I think this is something I echoed before, Bob, but if you consider the amount of talent in the past 5 years of LSU guys that are in the NFL, you get very frustrated at the program. We're in a similar situation here. Auburn would be a huge victory.
Well, they've been calling for Ed's head, coach of LSU, so he's looking for this game to win.
Orgeron. Power 5 teams in these cupcake games, who do they really help? We'll have our opinion when we come back on football's Play to Win.
It's Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month. The best time to take home big savings on our full lineup of tech-filled Titan trucks with V8 standard and best-in-class standard horsepower and torque, all backed by America's best truck warranty. Get to Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month and take home big savings. Save up to $10,687 on Titan, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models. Hurry, truck month ends soon.
This is the story of John Smith. Not this John Smith, or this John Smith, or any of the other hundreds of John Smiths that are Humana Medicare Advantage members. No, it's this John Smith, who we paired with a Humana team member to help address his own specific health needs. At Humana, we take a personal approach to your health to provide care that's just as unique as you are, no matter what your name is.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. Elamine and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
Today's University of Georgia Report is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue and Seafood.
Welcome back to football's Play to Win. What have we learned after 2 games with UGA so far? What do we know?
So far, so good. That's how I see it. Start, season off with 2 victories. So far, so good.
Well, what I learned is they have a lot of depth, and that's one thing. Yes. Georgia has 40 players that looks like they're playing at any given time. I think Georgia has shown they got a lot of depth, and when you play in the Southeastern Conference, injuries happen. So I think Georgia's well built to withstand injuries. So that's one of the things that stood out to me versus South Carolina.
Yeah, and I think the way that they respond to adversity in years past, particularly when there was some difficult stuff and South Carolina's fighting back, especially down in Columbia, you would see a Georgia team that sometimes would lose their way. There was some difficulty from Fromm, but he got it back together. You lose your starting left tackle, Cade Mays, a true freshman, comes in and dominates, and they just keep on rolling. And so this is the thing. I knew coming into this game, we all thought it was going to be a battle. People were picking South Carolina. We got to see a team that was resilient and continue to try to dominate other people. It's a change in the program now.
And with MTSU, I mean, you got a lot of guys on that team that were wishing they could have been on that UGA roster.
Well, definitely wishing they can be a Bulldog, but they'll be facing the Bulldogs. And they're big names like Ty Lee, receiver, Colquitt County, Jamal Jones, defensive end, Norcross. These are guys that grew up probably watching the Georgia Bulldogs and seeing other guys that they may have played against in all-star games or went to high school against that they will now have a chance to face. So I look forward to a nice little competitive matchup from the Georgia-grown high school players that are going against UGA.
Let's get some just early season grades on things, and I'll start with you, Bob. Georgia's O-line.
Georgia's O-line showed up, did well, protected for 2 quarterbacks, established running lanes for the running back Swift, Holyfield. I like the line. Thomas may be out. Cade can show up. Let's see that line stay A+ the rest of this season.
offensive weapons?
Yeah, you really like them. It's about getting the ball out, but there's no question that the Georgia running backs established what they were doing in that offense. The first time DeAndre Swift ran around the corner, I actually literally missed him. The dude was moving so fast. And then you come in and you got Elijah Holyfield, who's just built like Evander. I mean, these guys are monsters, and everybody's coming and playing their part and understanding when they get an opportunity to play that they got to make plays.
Well, defensively, savages. I'm going to just tell you, Mel Tucker, savages. And they lived up to that nickname because I'm going to tell you, Georgia, they played fast, they played physical. And I'm going to tell you one of the things that stood out, Mel Tucker, defensive coordinator, great scheme, particularly in coverage, showing man defense, showing zones, and really kept South Carolina off balance with the defense right now. They get an A+ for me.
Some early grades from our experts right here on the panel. Now it's time for you guys to be the expert. Head over to our Play to Win website for our Ippolito's You Be the Expert contest. This season, be sure to visit our website, playingtowin.tv, and take a shot to be #1 against all the competition by picking this week's college and NFL winners against the spread. We'll be giving away Ippolito's $100 and $50 gift certificates to each week's first and second place winners. So make sure you come back every week and prove your football IQ by being the best at predicting this week's college and NFL games. Ippolito's, a great neighborhood Italian restaurant. Boy, do we have a lot to get to when it comes to the Falcons. It's time for our Falcons report.
This is it. Barbecue and Seafood presents Healthy Tuesdays. Get 3 veggies absolutely free. Your choice of fresh collard greens, cabbage, green beans, cream corn, free candy yams, black-eyed peas, steamed broccoli, free macaroni and cheese, and so much more. And don't forget the cornbread. Get 3 veggies when you purchase 4. Healthy Tuesdays only at This Is It Barbecue and Seafood. Eat more veggies. Limited time offer.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they did, they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
Fuel your football. Come to Mellow Mushroom for craft brews, fresh cocktails, and stone-baked pizzas. Or mellow at your own home gate. Tailgating? No matter who wins, it's always mellow for the win. Fuel your football with Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
Today's show is being brought to you by Mellow Mushroom, Atlanta Peach Movers, and the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Today's Atlanta Falcons report is being brought to you by McDonald's.
Welcome back to Play to Win. After last week, that Falcons and Eagles game, of course, we're talking about penalties, but right next to that, it's injuries. The Falcons have so many injuries right now. More importantly, who's going in their places?
Well, Duke Riley starts out when you got Deion Jones, the middle linebacker, a Pro Bowl middle linebacker who makes all the calls. I think Duke Riley is going to be a guy that the Falcons need to step up, and Duke is a tough guy. He gets after it, he has speed, and I think it's going to be a great challenge going against Christian McCaffrey. But I think, like we talk about, when one guy goes down, when you draft well, the next guy can step up. Duke was drafted. He's a good player. And I think it's just an opportunity for Duke to really step up and stand out.
Yeah, Marquand Manuel probably said it best. There's no doubt that you can't sugarcoat losing 2 players like that. That is devastating. But the Falcons picked up a guy who a lot of people are going to learn about named Steven Means from the Philadelphia Eagles. He was kind of the odd man out. And I think he's going to, with some playing time, going to do something. You're going to get KZ moved to safety, Duke Riley over there, and then Brian Hill moved up because we're having some issues with Devontae Freeman. So injuries are a part of the game, but ladies and gentlemen, the Philadelphia Eagles had plenty of them last year, and they got a trophy. So next man up.
What are teams doing to Falcons in the red zone?
Well, I'll tell you, Nikki, from a defensive standpoint, let me tell you what the Falcons are looking at. First thing is, you got 11 defenders on the field, okay? So most teams are letting their 4-man rush go against the Falcons' offensive line because they're stopping the run. You know, the Falcons haven't shown the ability to run the ball, but remember, so if you got 7 in coverage, you got to add 2 more people. That's the back of the end zone line, and that's the goal line. So those are 2 defenders also because everyone else is mashed into the end zone. So you got 2 more defenders out there. So the Falcons have some challenges, but every team has those same challenges. It's just about, you know, playmakers making plays.
O-line issues.
Well, they've been hounding the right tackle Schrader and for the pressure and stuff he gave up against the run. And I think as a unit, that O-line plays well together. Those 5 guys can compete, but when you can match them up and create some matchup issues where at right tackle you can get a good pass rusher and maybe on one of those guards you can call for Mac to double team, then you leave the vulnerabilities, the trouble with some of the technique work or just some of the athleticism that the line may suffer from. So I think overall as a 5-guy system, they're doing great, but in 3rd down longs, there's some matchup issues that teams can exploit.
Is Carolina and Cam Newton, they're just going to face an all-new offense.
They are. I wanted to talk about the Falcons, though, because Schrader, this is one of those games, you never see him give up that many pressures. And the thing about it, too, is you got to figure out what you're going to do in the red zone. It has become a mental thing. Everybody's talking about it. These guys are all on social media. Block all of that stuff out and go from play to play and execute your perfection on that particular play. You may score, but it's been one of those things. And this week against the Falcons, you know, the guys who've been injured on defense, they're going to get a true test. Because guess what? That offense still runs through Cam Newton, his physicality and what he does on the ground, because the receivers for Carolina, let's just say it's an interesting group.
Thank goodness that game is going to happen in Atlanta, though,
Yes.
so we're not dealing with hurricane issues. Now let's see how Jeffrey picks the game, shall we?
For the showdown of the week, the Edge likes the Falcons, who are favored by 6 points, and as a dirty bird, I shall not disagree.
Yeah, and we like it, and he's not here to disagree with anyways right now, and that's always, it's a good time. So guys, when we come back, we've got not only our Falcons injuries, a lot of key players down around the league. When we come back, we will check in with Dr. E for our NFL Medical Player Report.
At McDonald's, a happy wallet and a happy family can live in harmony. All with a Happy Meal for just $3. 4 Chicken McNuggets made with all white meat, the goodness of milk, and crisp apple slices. All for just $3 on the $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's.
It's Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month. The best time to take home big savings on our full lineup of tech-filled Titan trucks with V8 standard and best-in-class standard horsepower and torque, all backed by America's best truck warranty. Get to Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month and take home big savings. Save up to $10,687 on Titan, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models. Hurry, Truck Month ends soon.
We are the TV doctors of America, and we may not know much about medicine, but we know a lot about drama.
From scandalous romance
to ridiculous plot twists.
Son?
We also know you can avoid drama by getting an annual checkup.
So we're partnering with Cigna to remind you to go see a real doctor.
Go, know, and take control of your health. It could save your life. Doctor poses. Dad.
Cigna, together, all the way.
Now at McDonald's, get any size soft drink or sweet tea for $1 or small McCafe for $2.
Today's Player, Medical, and Injury Report is being brought to you by the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute.
Welcome back to football's Play to Win. My goodness, it's so early in the season right now. I'm here with Dr. El-Amin. We've got to talk about some of these key players.
That's right.
Some of them out for the season.
That's right.
And we got to start with the Falcons because, my goodness, so many guys went out. But talk to us a little bit about Keanu Neal.
As you know, he sustained an ACL injury. He's out for the season on IR. So that's going to really hurt the defense. Playing on this turf is really tough for these guys. So he's out along with Deion Jones, who also will be out.
A lot of guys out. Carson Wentz still not back.
Yes, as you know, he's still recovering from this ACL. They said he might be back, but it's week 3, maybe week 4, but he is not cleared for contact.
Speaking of being cleared for contact, what is going on with Aaron Rodgers?
Well, as you know, he came back after this being down 20 points. Kane had this knee injury, taken to the locker room. We think that, he probably got an injection in his knee. Came back and he was able to just win the game. But, he's not practiced this week and he's got a lot of swelling. But Aaron Rodgers is going to play.
He's going to play. Are we concerned at all with his mobility or long-term effects of these?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
All right, Marcus Mariota.
He's coming back. He had an elbow injury as well, so he should play this week.
Elbow injuries. Ben Roethlisberger also working with a
Absolutely.
elbow.
Big Ben
What's
got an
going
elbow
on?
injury, but he is needed this week. He's got to play. He hasn't practiced much, but Big Ben will play.
Wow, there's just so much going on. I feel like, unfortunately, we could keep this injury report going for another 30 minutes. We have so many players that we need to get back in the game soon. So hopefully these elbow injuries and ACL injuries will clear up soon. Guys, when we come back, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Jeffrey "The Edge" Schechter with his picks. Stick with us on Football's Play to Win.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. Elamine and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
It's Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month. The best time to take home big savings on our full lineup of tech-filled Titan trucks with V8 standard and best-in-class standard horsepower and torque. All backed by America's best truck warranty. Get to Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month and take home big savings. Save up to $10,687 on Titan or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models. Hurry, truck month ends soon.
We're expanding our vegetable menu. Looking for a lifestyle change or just trying to eat a little bit better? Well, This Is It is here to serve. Vegetables include fresh broccoli, squash, greens, cabbage, green beans, and so many more vegetables. Every Tuesday is now Healthy Tuesdays. Buy a 4-veggie plate and get a 3-veggie plate absolutely free. That's right, a free vegetable plate. Everybody eat more veggies.
Welcome back to Play to Win. It is finally time for our lightning round where we get Jeffrey "The Edge" Schechter's pick for the week.
That's the dogs barking. A lot of underdogs here going to win. 9.5 points, LSU. Give them the 9, they can beat Auburn at Auburn. Hawaii's traveling a long way, but give them 6.5 points in a long flight. It'll be a luau at the Army. Ohio State versus TCU. Urban Meyer's last game on suspension. He will be sad coming down. TCU plus 13.
NFL.
Minnesota Green Bay. Kirk Cousins has to shine against a almost injured Aaron Rodgers. Give him plus 1. Kansas City, Pittsburgh. Mahomes is the man. Pittsburgh is a clan that is missing their star running back. Plus 5 Kansas City. New England at Jacksonville. At least Tom Brady was given a good rating by Jalen Ramsey, the quarterback.
Right.
Yeah. 1.5 points, give him Jacksonville.
Final thoughts.
Well, shout out to all the parents that are getting up right now, getting ready for the football games out there. So, good morning.
Yes, my final thoughts are adversity happens. Let's see what happens with this Falcons team, how they're going to come together against a guy who lives and plays and loves Atlanta. So it's going to be a big game Sunday.
All my Georgia squads, do well this weekend. Win, lose, or draw, we love you.
And I'm just going to welcome everybody to Atlanta from Carolina. I want to say that everybody in the path of the hurricane, you're in our thoughts, you're in our prayers, and never do we ever welcome Carolina to Atlanta like this, but we are happy to host you guys. Guys, thanks for hanging with us all week on Football's Play to Win. We'll see you next week.
Today's show has been brought to you by This Is It Barbecue and Nissan.